2,
4,
1.
7,
Hold on.
12.
And then it's 1. It's hump day.
4,
You
4, 8.
guys are gonna love this. Here we go. Crapgamer here, the king of all gaming related media, the most compelling YouTuber, and you damn well know it, the master of disaster, pony leg breaker extraordinaire, albino rhino at your service. And we're going to talk about these dastardly media bias against Gears 5 today. How dare they rank this game at an 86? It deserves to be a 96 at least. How dare they, Mooch? How dare they?
How dare they, Crap?
We've got a great show lined up for you today, and I'm telling you what, no prisoners held. We are going to have a good time. Let me introduce Mooch. What's going on, man?
What's up, buddy? Great day today. This has been like a Mooch Christmas for me personally. I just can't wait. And there's some predictions I made, Crap, a couple of weeks ago. No one ever takes down the good Mooch notes, only the bad ones.
Yes.
So I made a couple of good predictions a couple of weeks ago, and we'll talk about it once we get into Gears 5. But it's going to be a hell of a show, Crap. Looking forward to it.
It is. It's going to be a really great show. And we've got XBot 438. What's going on, XBot?
438. I got downgraded.
You got demoted for that trash internet earlier, man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys, if we had gone live, it sounded like Crapgamer had me locked in the trunk of his 76 Buick. What is going on, everybody? Crap, what day is it?
It's Hump Day.
Hump
My favorite day. My favorite day.
Crap, I only got 2 words for you.
Yes.
Meta who? Meta who?
Metacritic.
Meta who?
Metacritic, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Keep going.
It's that thing that everybody talks about because it's super relevant how our games do. Metacritic, man. Metacritic.
I just don't. Yeah, you might as well move on, brother. Might as well.
I will, man. We got Knox. He's back. He's doing pretty good, pretty neat, I'm sure. What's going on, Knox?
And there he is.
Yeah.
Hit him with
there he is. He's there, kind of. He's there in spirit.
I'm done. Yeah.
He's there in spirit. We feel you, Knox. It's like a seance going on. We got you covered. We also got Dirt. Riggedy, what's going on, Diggity? How's it going, man? How are you doing? Thanks for joining us.
I am great, Crap. There are some, well, I think it's positive Xbox news, but with you nowadays, I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey, man,
When you're a Moose nowadays, I'm not sure if it's positive or not. But
I'm the pony leg breaker extraordinaire, man. What are you talking about?
Vintage 2014. That's what I like.
Man. Hey, look, XBot he's wearing that shirt right now. I'm sure XBot is, aren't you, XBot?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, he is. Hey, as everybody filters in, please hit the like button, share it out. I would appreciate it. Last but not least, making her return to the show, we got She-Wolf back. What's up, She-Wolf?
The ceiling, apparently. At least I hope the ceiling's up, because that would kind of suck if it's not.
Not in Canada, though, right? It's backwards there or something like that? How does that work?
What are you talking about? Is backwards? We're not backwards.
No, you guys you guys say roof.
No, I'm not starting this with you.
Wait,
Every
okay,
time I
sorry.
sit there and say words, you always have to pick on me.
No, there's nobody picking on you.
Yes, you do. You always pick on me.
It's all good. Hey,
Moose
just say
will back me on this. You always pick on me when I say certain words.
It's true, buddy. It's true.
Just say house real quick. People want to hear you say
no, fuck you. How about that one? This wolf has some bite still, so don't get
But we are very pleased to have you here, though. It is great to have you back. I'm sure people are very excited about that, as they like it and share out the video. Thank you guys very much. Anyway, so I guess the news of the day is Gears of War 5 sitting at a 86 Metacritic. Now, Mooch, I want to be clear. I think this is a fantastic score for this game, right?
It is.
Like a truly fantastic score for this game. Like, amazingly fantastic, okay? Like, just to be clear, this is a super great, fantastic XBL type score, right? Amazing. You can't ask for much better from an Xbox exclusive.
We're playing. Listen, and I like that. That was a nice little jab at the end there. But I got to be honest with you, 86 is a great score. I think what comes to terms as of this morning, when we saw it slowly, kind of gradually progress from 83 to 86, was that there was a lot of talk after the preview that came out on Friday. Everyone was kind of talking about it like, wow. I mean, you saw all the people that got review copies saying, and I'm talking about all YouTubers, everybody. It was like, I saw at least like 50 people say, listen, this thing is just mind blowing. It's a head scratcher how much the coalition was able to do in 3 years. I just think everyone kind of got wrapped around that and saw those few 30-second clips, and we were thinking 90 plus, right? Yeah. So you start thinking 90 plus, all of a sudden you see 83, you're like, whoa, pump the brakes. So I don't know, Crap. To be honest with you, I think it was kind of a false narrative moving forward, or that hype build up over the weekend got to be a bit much. But 86, guys, I got news for you. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. That's a great score. And I do got to say, and I'm sure, Crap, you're right there behind me. We haven't played it yet. I can't wait. Like, I never am in a rush for Xbox Nation to end. But to play Gears 5 tonight.
It's more Gears, which people,
well, you know, we're going to get into that, right?
Well,
you know what's funny is this, right? So Xbox, like here's the deal. When you're a YouTuber or whatever, you can like request a code from Xbox for their games or whatever. I haven't requested anything from Xbox since 2016 with that fiasco with Quantum Break. Remember, you canceled the pre-order over this, so I was like, yeah, screw that, man. I'm not even gonna bother.
I got a picture of you in the office, like,
but
out.
but Mooch goes, I got a code to review Gears 5, and I was like, oh, so I checked my email, boom, I got me a code from a couple days ago.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't even request it. They just sent it to me, I guess, because I'm on their list or whatever. And so I guess that just goes to show you that like they're out there trying to drum up as much support as possible. But as far as like the Metacritic or whatever, here's what I said, right? I was falling for this hype, and this is not an attack on Windows Central or anybody in particular, but I read that article, and and other articles that were like, it's an evolution, it's this open world thing, it's the best thing ever. It's super great, it's super bad and funky and all this kind of stuff, right? And I'm like, me and Mooch are like, hell yeah. And then I even did a video. I'm like, is this their Game of the Year contender for the first time this generation? Because I was believing hype. You had everybody that was putting out their early impressions, like, I can't talk about it, but greatness. This is Gears. This is Xbox's answer to God of War. Holy cow. This is, I can't share much, but mind's blown. Right. And so everybody's getting all hyped up about this. And I'm like, is this really, maybe it'll get a 90 something. And maybe this is going to be really that great thing. And I realize that's sort of my bad too. But it's like, and then when it comes out and it does 86, you're a little bit let down because you were expecting maybe something a little bit more. But, the positive is 86 is a good score. It is 2 points better than the previous one, and hopefully they're on the right track. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Maybe tonight, but for sure tomorrow, me and Mooch are going to be playing it.
Well, I mean, just to get it back to what you're saying too, Crap. I mean, we did a predictions. What do you think the meta prediction is going to be moving forward? And I said 86.
I said 85.
I said 86, and then after the hype, we said, hey, let's reevaluate. And then I bumped it up to an 88, 89. And I said, I don't think we'll break 90, but shout out to Tim Dog. Tim goes, I think 90. And I said 89. I said, you know what? We'll split the difference. I said 89 or 90. That's a wash. You get an 89 or 90. That's fantastic. I mean, that's unbelievable. And I'll be honest with you, 86, still a very good score. So, I mean, the one thing, though, that we got to talk about, I think, is, I don't know about you guys, but I read a lot of the reviews, and I'll let Xbox take the mic for a second. But, I mean, I think that when you look at how the reviews kind of broke down, I don't know. I haven't played yet. That's why I said I was kind of reserving judgment to get specific until Friday when I can actually talk about it after I had some time with the game. But it looks like it's still, even though there's the skiff and even though they added Jack, I think they still, according to what I'm reading, it looks like they still played it very safe.
Okay, hold on. I have to now. I know I've been gone for a while, but let's be honest, okay? Even like before, we'd have PlayStation games come out, and they were always hitting the 90s. Like I was actually just going to point out what someone pointed out in the chat is the fact that literally Monster Hunter Iceborne it got a 90.
91, right?
Yeah.
No, well, I'm looking at the score right now. It actually says 90, but. It's the fact of like, this is Gears 5. We haven't, like, please, if anyone would like to quote me or fix this, is there actually any Xbox games that we have literally had that have been over 90 yet?
Forza Horizon 3 and Forza Horizon 4. That's it.
Well, can you really count? They're like come on, they're racing games. Like,
yeah, well
PlayStation doesn't really have any major racing games. So
Xbox has no frontier. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, though, like in reality, we seem to always end up falling short when it comes to any of the games. So the hype probably was real, and it probably does deserve a 90. But I still find there's a lot of bias when it comes to certain things because we do always seem to fall short where it keeps it under that 90 mark.
Well, is it bias or is it just bad games? I mean,
dude, Dude, if you look at what people have been saying about this game, now granted, there are people that are like, I thought they would have innovated more and stuff like that. But if you look at what people are saying about the story, it's definitely an engaging story. They're talking about the graphics, saying it's absolutely beautiful, and then they're talking about all the content when it comes to the multiplayer. See, that's above any number, because I'm not out there to like say, hey, my number's bigger than yours or anything like that. I want to see what they're talking about with the game, and then I want to try it myself, which I am going to do.
Yeah.
And from what people are saying about the game, this is exactly what Gears fans wanted. They wanted bigger. They wanted more options when it comes to multiplayer, but they still wanted Gears of War. So when it comes down to it, I think the Coalition and Rod did exactly what they were supposed to do, and I think they have, without me getting my hands, like the controllers in my hands yet, but I think they have turned it to a point where they are gonna like start making the Gears games like bigger and broader and more places to
I agree with that, Xbox.
Stuff like that. So I think this is a great start.
They finally, as you're saying, they finally turned the corner, and I think that's the right idea. But again, if you want to see where it reflects into a score, you look at 84 for Gears 4. They're just making that turn now where they've added a little this and a little that. Again, I haven't played it yet, so I can't wait to get a little bit more deeper into it. But realistically, the things that I've read was that little bit, there's your nudge. There's your 86, maybe by the end of the week, 87. And I mean, that's again, very good score, but the things that are going to keep it, it's funny, and no one likes to keep reharping on it, but even some of the articles that came out that said Gears 5, pardon me, was influenced by maybe some of Sony's titles. I don't know what that article was, but I'm paraphrasing. But that was roughly the headline. Yeah. My point being is that we all said that they need to do something like what God of War did. Not mimic them, but something in that range where they have to change it up. Yeah. So my point being is that they did change it up, but it's still an over-the-shoulder, still feels chunky kind of Gears, right? So look at people goes, that's Gears. That's fine. I'm not critiquing that. That's up to Rod and his folks. But if you want to change it, I think some people are saying, listen, this is not the second one. This isn't the third one. It's the fifth one. And the next one, according to Xbox, right, if they're going to change it, the sixth one. You can, at this point, feel free to be creative and change the game slightly to maybe, keep up with the times.
And I think that's what they're starting to do.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Dirt.
Like, what's an example of a change that would make you happy? Like, Gears
does make me happy. I am happy.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, what's a change that would be so...
Every time they change a game, though, everyone bitches because they changed just that little bit of it because it's not the original game. So
remember, I'm sorry.
They did that with Halo too, though. You guys, you know what I mean?
That was what I was about to say. When they made like a run button in Halo 5, everybody was pissed off about it. Like, what are you doing? So I understand what you're saying, Mooch, and at the end of the day, it is a Gears game. It looks great. It is a Gears game. But how much can it change? I mean, Uncharted, how much can Uncharted change, right? It's a great story, narrative game.
Right.
Cover, shoot. How much can Gears change? Now, God of War is the exception. Resident Evil changed their first person, they changed it from third person to first person, but it was still like the same type of game. So how much can Gears change in your opinion?
You just gave a great example, and I'm kind of glad you brought that up, Dirt. I mean, Resident Evil is probably a prime example. Now, Gears of War is not going in that direction, but if we were sitting here and not having a Gears conversation and we were having a Resident Evil 5 or 6 conversation, pardon me, into 7, do you think anyone collectively on this panel right now would say, you know what, Dirt? It's time to get rid of everything we know and go first person. You'd be like, folks, get the hell out of here, right?
Yeah.
Like, that sounds crazy, but many will tell you that was the Resident Evil that was my game of the year that year.
It was a great game.
I loved it, right? So am I saying they need to go there? No. Listen, no one on this panel gets paid to be a creative genius like that. That's up to Rod and his folks. But what I'm thinking was, just to give you a simple answer, would be, right now where that camera's like legitimately over the shoulder, like, step it back a little bit. Take the camera angle back a little bit. Make the fluid motion of the gears a little bit more smooth. I don't know. That's not my job. I'm just saying things that you could do to change it up a little bit is change the view of the character. Look at God of War. Not just God of War went drastic, okay? But God of War, the original 1, 2, and 3 that we all kind of like to a certain extent, some people love. Okay. You were Kratos and you were walking along. Sometimes you were playing in a 2D scroller. Then it shifted to 3. Then when you were climbing up a mountain, your Kratos is the size of a chiclet. Right? right. Remember all 3 of those? And then what did they do? They said,
I like that.
Well, some liked it. Myself personally, I started falling in love with God of War this generation. I didn't care for all that camera movement, but that's how they kind of changed it. So it's not always a big deal. Resident Evil did what? They went from third person to first person. Whoa, mind blowing. No, it's not. But guess what? It ended up being an amazing critical success and a gamer, right? So to answer your question in short, Dirt, is I don't have an exact answer for you. But realistically, those are the things that I think gamers are looking for to change up a little bit. And you know what? Maybe it will get hit with negative reviews. Halo went through that. Let's be honest. Until Resident Evil 7 got in gamers' hands, man, it was getting bashed. First person. Get out of here.
I remember that. Yeah.
So it takes that kind of thing. I mean, let me give you guys another idea real quick. Look how real ridiculous it was in Dying Light to jump and to parkour around the world was RB. Are you nuts? RB that much in a game? I mean, RB.
But
who uses RB like it? But it worked.
Yeah.
And what's this like, RB you talk of, Mooch?
Who is this RB you speak of? So I don't know. Those are the kind of answers, where you go, these are the things that when you're a creative genius, those are the types of things that gamers are looking for subtle changes that make the game feel fresh.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it does. Knox, do you have anything to say about this stuff, man?
Well, look, I just, it's going live tonight, right? At
tomorrow.
Isn't it? Wouldn't it be midnight?
Tomorrow 9 p.m. in your respected areas. If you have,
I thought it was tonight. I thought
it was tonight.
No,
Eastern time.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, it's tomorrow, September 5th.
Yeah.
No, but that would be tonight, wouldn't it?
September 5th at 9 p.m. because the original release date was September 6th. So they're doing it September 5th as an early. I thanked everybody I could today on Twitter. I got a review copy, so I get to play one night earlier, but it's really no big deal.
One night early.
Woohoo!
Oh, man, I can hardly wait.
Going to work.
Yes.
I mean, listen, we can't hate on the game, right? Like we really got to try it, right? We absolutely have to experience the title to see if we really feel that those changes were significant and enough to make it feel refreshing and make it feel, like something new is like something old is new again. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna wait and see. 86 is by no means a bad score. So
for sure,
it's a good score. It's a good score.
Guys can't be upset about it. I mean, I get it, man. I'll let you know. Listen, I'll be honest, and when I play it, when I experience it, if I think it deserves a 90, I'll say, hey, this game deserves a 90. I don't know why I fell short.
Good point.
Or be like, hey, you know what? 86 was right on the nose. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Well, let me ask you guys this, because I mentioned this and it was kind of not really a joke, because it's not me that's saying this, and it's weird, is a lot of people are saying media bias. Okay, like I've seen that thrown around, like, oh, this game should have got this, and they bring up like one particular review score by US Gamer, which gave it a 60 out of 100, right? But this same reviewer gave Horizon Zero Dawn a 50 out of 100. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think early on that media bias stuff was probably true, because let's face it, a lot of these sites were pissed off at Xbox. Microsoft was out there trying to change the game up and, take our games. You know what I mean? They were trying to do something. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know what, crap? I'm glad you brought that up, because as an Xbox guy, man, I do believe there's some media bias out there, but my Xbox brothers, we got to stop putting out our ass every time something doesn't go Xbox way. Media bias, we got to stop doing that.
The media bias that existed in 2013, 2014 was a completely different situation. That's not what's happening now. Xbox has all the ammunition and the things that were existing in media bias in 2013, 2014. A lot of that ammunition was provided to the media by Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox doesn't do that anymore. They do not provide any ammunition at all. They don't have sales numbers. They don't have figures. You don't know what's going on. We have no idea what's going on. We have so little idea what's going on. We don't know when the next game clip will be shown of another IP forever and ever.
I'm waiting 4 or 5 years.
There is not, I can't, me, I used to ring the bell in 2013, 2014. There is no media bias in this situation, because even when you look at the two that you may, in the same examples people are pulling up, there's also 3 or 4 write-ups that are all 100, 100, 100,
right,
100.
Exactly.
Right?
That's why,
so realistically, and let's also say something else. It's really hard to ring the media bias bell when you got an 86.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good score.
That's a good score. So
good
like
score,
you really can't. Now, don't get me wrong. If this thing's sitting at a 79, we got to talk about it. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Obi-Wan, what I'm talking about is, and I guess you'll probably hear this in a second because it's a little bit behind. When I say it was overhyped, there was numerous sites that previewed it last week that were way overhyping this game, right? Like that's just a fact. Go back and read them. And then the funny thing is I mean that's just what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, hey, it's not just the same old Gears. It's this, it's that. So everybody got excited for it. All the people on social media that were playing it early were like, the greatest Gears of War ever.
Yeah,
this is Xbox's answer.
And condoning that. Oh, that's why it was a brilliant move that they didn't show any footage of the game or anything because it was great. You're gonna see that.
I can't rock with that. Right.
Yeah,
now. I can't rock with that.
And that's probably what contributes to this too. You know what I mean?
All right, guys, but that's how they felt though. I mean, if they felt that game was that great in the previews, I mean, that's how they felt. I don't think they were hyping it up. That's how they felt, right?
Man, a lot of these places though were hyping up Crackdown 3 the same exact way.
Shit, not Crackdown.
Hey man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, a lot of these. Some of these people. I'm just saying, some of these people might have only reviewed Gears of War 5 1 point higher than Crackdown 3 to them. I'm just saying, it happens. You know what I mean? Hey, listen. Ehsan Rashid says, question to panel: is Gears 5 a victim of the Xbox community holding on to hope that an internal team can compete with Sony's first party? It could be. You know what? Here's the thing. I have all the respect and admiration for Rod Ferguson and the Coalition. I think they are the most passionate team that Microsoft has, and it shows, right? Like Gears of War 5, 86 is a huge score. It might even get up to 87, which, you know, that's fantastic. That's a turnaround from the 84 or whatever. Now, I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but that's great. That's a really good score. That's going in the right direction. You know, Turn 10 is another studio that they have that has a lot of passion for cars and stuff, and that shows. They stumbled a bit with their motorsport game this generation a couple of times, but overall, a lot of passion there. Some of their other studios, and I mentioned this before, and this is not like what somebody might try to make it out to be. Like I said, Rod, passion for Gears. Dan Greenewalt, passion for racing.
Yes.
Bonnie Ross, does she have a passion for Halo? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just being honest. I haven't seen that from her. Like whenever there's an interview, who do they interview for Halo? I don't think it's even her, right?
So Bonnie last time, was it?
Bonnie does get in front of the camera and talk about Halo, but so does Kiki Wolfkill. So does what the hell's the bald
Frank
guy's name? Frank
O'Connell. Yeah.
You get Bill's crap.
But I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, she's the head of the studio. Does she have that passion for Halo the way that Rod does for Gears? It doesn't exude that way to me. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't exude that way to me. Hey, as everybody joins in, almost 500 watching, please hit the like button, share it out. I got to pay some bills. Yobo1245 says an 86 is a great score, but for a franchise that once consistently got over 90 Metacritic scores, Gears 5 is a clear sign of franchise deterioration. Deterioration, folks. Deterioration. Mooch, what says you?
You gotta play it.
Wait, with me? Says me with what?
Oh, well, do you think that Gears 5 is a sign of franchise deterioration?
No, I mean, I think whenever you get to the 5th iteration in any game, you either reinvent a bit or change things. And I think that's why this conversation's coming up. And I think we got to put all of our love and admiration for all the games that we have that are hitting. And this goes for Uncharted 2 as we approach Uncharted 5 next generation. I mean, we all know that that's coming sure as tomorrow's.
Probably won't be by Naughty Dog,
Maybe not, but it's still going to be coming. And my point being is that I think when you get to a certain point, it hits a bit of fatigue to a certain degree. That's why we ask for these changes. And some of them are welcome with open arms. Some of the changes get critical, like just slap back, like nobody wants anything to do with it. So, I mean, do I think Gears is there? Again, very difficult to answer some of these questions until we play it. But I think if it's, if the story is strong enough, it may be enough to lift it. You know what I mean? And people are saying the story is very good. So if
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. If they're able to take this story and run with the baton, then this has got a whole new door it's opened up with new characters, new experiences, new worlds, etc. That's fine. new heroes, new villains. That's great. That's what you need to do. So the story's on pace. Now, don't forget, I've said this all the time. Story's important in a game, but gameplay is more important. And I understand that they gave you Jack, and I understand that he's got a couple of new little perks here and there. But
he's fully customizable. When
I don't care. I don't care if Jack gets a hat or a scarf.
No, it's all ability wise.
I know, but I mean, like, he goes out, like, one of the abilities is he
gets a hat.
Well, you said one of his abilities is
guard Jack while he gets a hat. Now he's trying on.
You
some
said
coats.
customizable, so I mean, when you said that, I was thinking more like aesthetics. But what I'm saying to you is that, like, right, he gives you one of the great ones that someone mentioned. I think it was Ryan McCaffrey. He said that they give you a stint ability, which he heals you.
Yeah,
great. Right.
So,
Brian Baker says Bonnie seems like Phil's little sister, though. So I mean, there's that. Hey, Brian,
Dude,
unblock me on Twitter. I didn't really kick Xbot off the group. Seriously.
Yeah, no, you didn't. Yo, guys, I just real quick, I just want to say something about this whole Metacritic and number score thing and stuff like that. When it comes down to it, there's been people on social media when like a PlayStation game gets like a 90-something Metacritic and people are like, oh my goodness, it didn't deserve that. There were glitches in it that they just completely bypassed and stuff like that. I'm not listening to Metacritic. Yo, this is for those people that when it comes to Metacritic scores and reviews, I feel like the people out there on social media who really care about this are people who are trying to hold a number up to the other side, to the PlayStation extremists out there and their numbers. And if that's the case, that's egg on your face.
Well, Xbot, I think it's like there's nothing wrong with wanting better games. You know what I mean? Like, you got to admit, man,
that
most
is
of the
so
games
subjective. Yo, you heard some of the reviews that went down when it came to Gears. People are like, yeah, the open, using the skiff is all well and good. Like, that's really cool and stuff. But it's still more. They literally took points away for saying that it's still more Gears.
Well, listen.
That's absolute bull.
Well, I think that I've seen that with everything.
That's the problem with the world today. Everyone's got a bitch about something, so it doesn't really matter what it is. And for everyone in the chat, I saw a lot of people, because I was just reading and everyone's saying that, like, we're bitching about it being an 86 or whatever. We're not complaining that it's an 86. It's the idea of that Xbox in general, over the many years that, like, we've been sitting here talking about games and all that, haven't really hit that 90 mark because they just always seem to fall short. So again, like the guys have said, the 86 is a good score. That's not a bad score. But when it comes to scoring games and stuff, it's kind of like movies and TV shows. I'm sure a lot of, like, you guys can all agree where, like, you guys will look up reviews on a TV show or a movie or a game, and you read some of the reviews and they're just bashing it, but then you go see it or you play it or you watch it, whatever, and it's like, damn, what the hell were they bitching about, kind of thing.
Exactly.
There's a lot of times where you'll get people who haven't even actually played the game, but they'll go review it just because they want to put their stupid opinion in. So then it ends up still counting towards those scores too, right? So there's a lot that you have to look at when it comes to scoring things, which is why it's always better to always take your friends' opinions or just straight up go with your opinion on a game. Don't ever listen to, like, social media about video games or movies or anything like that, because when it comes down to it, what you like is not going to be the same as what everyone else likes.
Right.
Hey, well said. I also want to point out something that was funny in the chat, which was kind of mocking some people that are like, review scores don't matter. Now here's my review of it. You know what I mean? Like, that is pretty funny. I'm sorry. Failed Pyromancer, let me pay this bill. He says Gears 5 got an 86. WTF are these Xbox guys complaining about the anger been there from before Gears Metascore, and it's ruining the W for the Xbox One. Listen, I agree.
Not all Xbox guys.
It's not all of them, but Dirt, you got to admit, you've seen that where people are like, biased media today, right?
I have. I have.
And it's not really me. Like, I'm making fun of it, but I'm not exactly.
Some of those reviews and their reasoning behind it, dude, it didn't make you, like, scratch your head. Like, huge shout out to my followers on Twitter. Thank you guys so much. I was getting DMs and links and stuff like that for reviews. So while I was working today at the vape shop, I just had that going. as well. So I was listening to what people were saying about it. And some of it, man, dude, you got to admit, it just makes you like, what the hell are they talking about? Like, who gave this person a platform and a venue to review games? Like, come on, brother.
Yeah, who's doing that? I would like to know.
Well, isn't that kind of like Gears? What was it? Wasn't it Gears the year before? Like for Gears 4, didn't one of the reviewers not even actually like shooters?
Yeah. It was Quantum Break and the guy, I think it was Jeff Gertzman.
Yeah,
doesn't like he doesn't like third person shooters. Although it was weird because I think he gave a perfect 10 to Uncharted 4. So I mean, but that was back in my Pony Leg Breaker days.
That's my point. That was
the
games, though, right? Like that's what it comes down to. You have to look at who's actually reviewing them to begin with.
But that was where some of the bias came in. You know, people are like, oh, you used to say, yeah, but you have to look at the situation like She-Wolf just said. You had the same reviewer playing a very similar type game, and he says he loved one and hated the other. And you're like, well, what's the reason? If you didn't like the story or this and that, that's fine. I don't really like those cover shooters. And you're like, but you just loved Uncharted. So, I mean, that's where you see a bit of bias media. But
oh, my bad. But She-Wolf, it would be so great to go back to those days. But lately, if you go out there on Twitter, it's all about the number. It doesn't matter who did what, who said what kind of person did the review. It's just strictly about the number. My number is bigger than yours or not.
Let me tell you why the number truly doesn't matter that much these days. Just so you know, Days Gone sitting at a 71 or a 72 on Meta, and it literally outsold so many games for like the month it came out in, and then it did well into the month.
But
I'm just saying, so like the number Meta, I've said this for a long time. Meta is a great conversation piece. We do talk shows. It's definitely something that should be brought up. It's a staple. People look at it, but it's not how people live. That's not what people go by. Now, the one thing that you do have to take into consideration, if a Metascore comes out, let's just be honest. I think everybody on the panel will agree with me here. If a Metascore comes out for a game and it gets a 52, very few people on the panel or maybe even in the chat are going to be like, that was just my game of the year. I mean, typically at that point, it's broken or there's bugs. It's glitchy beyond belief. There's a game-breaking bug. There's an issue. But, you know, when you go past that and you get into the 65 and up, you know, that's truly when you say, okay, now it's up to gamers' discretion. So when you take a 71, 72, that's usually kind of that's a meh title right now. And that's what Days Gone got, and it sold like gangbusters.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I'm saying. So you have to take the meta as a great conversation piece because, I mean, look at it right now. And nobody likes to hear sports. But right now, there's a bunch of analysts that are on a million different channels in our respected areas telling you who's going to come in first, second, and third, and fourth in each of the divisions in football, right? But at the same time, they don't really know shit if their number one ends up, you know, the running back ends up getting hurt, and all of a sudden that team goes into last. My point is that it's a good talking point, but it's not the end result.
Well, yeah.
Well said, Moose. Well said.
Let me pay this bill real quick, too. Gotham Guy says Uncharted 4 was definitely a fatigue in the series, yet it scored a 94. I'm not saying it's media bias, but why the high score? Well, first of all jokes aside about the crates. All jokes aside, I knew that. All jokes aside about the crates.
And the brother too, crap. The brother. The brother that did exist, crap.
I know, right? Like out of nowhere. That was my problem. Those were my problems with that game too. But that game was an evolution in graphics and for me anyway, like the controls. I thought they did it. I thought they did a real dude. Go play the original one, and then go play. Hey, the gunplay is much better in 4 than it was in 1 or 2.
I feel bad for anybody who's followed the franchise.
Yeah. No, it is. It's much better. Kev in Life says, would you guys be surprised if it got higher than a 9 on Metacritic? A 90?
I don't care about Meta, so no.
If it somehow managed to get up to a 9, I think I would be surprised. This morning before the reviews went out, I said maybe 87 because I saw I think or it might have been right after the IGN one. I said 87.
Look, man, to me, bro, anything once you pass like 85s, those halfway points to me, they mean shit. To be honest with you, like 86, 83, bro, you got 80, 90, 100. That's it. You know what I mean? So me, I just rounded off to the nearest 10, and that shit is a 90 as far as I'm concerned. I'll just be the judge when I play the game. You know what I'm saying? And at the bottom line, that's the way everybody has to take it.
That's a great point.
Like Mooch just pointed out, Days Gone scored a 71, right?
I love Days Gone.
People love the game. You play it, you enjoy it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. I haven't beat it yet, but shout out to the Dreaded Light. We trying to run these raids and all that good shit. You know what I mean? So
just like Rise.
Oh
Rise
God, people still play Destiny.
I love Rise.
Oh,
God.
come on back.
Oh, that community is alive and well.
Hey, don't fall for it, She-Wolf. Don't fall for it because you'll get.
Come on over, She-Wolf.
Destiny.
Come on over.
No, you don't want to. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
So I have to put my head down in shame. I haven't actually played video games in like 7 months.
Oh,
wow.
Whoa.
Wow,
it's okay.
I
there's
never
good
became
reasons
an
for
adult
that.
and have been working my ass off.
Hey, I mean, nobody can blame you for that either. That's life. You know what I mean? That's
life.
That is that.
No, video games are life. What are you talking about?
Hey,
video games are life, She-Wolf. Video games are life.
Longshot says, "Welcome back, She-Wolf. We missed you." So that's awesome. Yeah, she was like, "Hey, can you do an Xbox Nation?" I was like, "For sure." Here
I knew something was up at Craps, like and some surprises. I'm like, oh, I know what that means. Something's
surprises.
Going on,
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know me, man. I'm the king of surprises, pony leg breaker extraordinaire, all that kind of stuff.
I gotta say, I love your energy tonight, man. You are hyper.
Yeah,
like
he's super. He's super sarcastic and everything.
Right yeah, hey man, look, I'm a funny guy. What can I say?
I bring out this awesome side of him. Didn't you guys know that?
Listen, we've had really great times on Xbox Nation. I can remember some really awesome shows back in the day when She-Wolf was on there and Mooch, and it's just really fun stuff. So yeah, so it was natural. I was like, heck yeah, come back on the show. Ninja. The streamer that Microsoft...
he told me to fuck off and was like, I want her on this show. No. What are we talking about?
Is that true?
He's like, wait, if I say no, then I'm going to look like an ass.
No, that's not true at all. See, people are going to believe you, She-Wolf, because people believe Xbot that I kicked him off the show.
Yeah, for real.
He moved, and so he missed a week, and he's like, Crap, kick me off the show on Twitter, and everybody's like, F you, Crap, you suck. So I was like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, but I could see you do that.
I've
had one of your little moments.
Hey, I've kicked off a total of 2 people on the show, and it was well deserved.
I know. Why do you think I was gone for 7 months? I'm so sorry, guys. I had to ask to get back here.
Oh shit!
He's like, I set you free.
Yeah, yes, it does. You know what? I want to talk about Xbox's $1 million streamer Ninja. Weird promotion. He was doing a Gears of War 5 stream. He's like, it's not a paid stream or whatever, but something tells me that he had better damn well play that game.
In contract.
What do you think? What do you think, Mooch? Did you look at it or did you watch it?
I didn't watch it, but I did check out the numbers real quick. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. If I was Xbox and what they've signed him to for other reasons or whatever, this reason or other reasons, he had 17,000. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I saw 17.5 at the highest. If I'm wrong, please do let me know. That's not good. I mean, let's just call it what it is. He was getting, 65,000 to 80,000 viewers on Twitch playing old maps on Fortnite. So, 17,000. There's something else I realized too, and I mean, you guys know I've been dabbling, and She-Wolf will tell you she was doing it before I was. I've been doing it for the past 4 or 5 months. When you're a streamer, okay, especially when you're streaming something that's about to come out, 17,500 for his stature is low. But another thing that a lot of streamers and gamers don't want to really watch is they don't want to get a spoiler 2 days before the game comes out, right?
Well, it's not even just that, though. You guys also have to take into consideration when you're a streamer and you have that follow base, like that viewer base, it all wraps around to what you're majorly into, and all of his viewers are a bunch of kids that play Fortnite.
Right. Like
when
my
it comes
son
down
and his
to
friends
it.
are big Ninja fans, and they could care less that he was streaming Gears 5.
Right.
Like that didn't even hit the radar. So my point being is that because I was like, hey guys, hey, Ninja's on. They're like, hey, great. And so it was like, right? They're like, back to Fortnite.
I don't really think a lot of them watch him because of him. Like, so my son, he would watch his streams and stuff, but he didn't care for him. He was like, oh, who is that? But he just liked watching him play. So honestly, I think a lot of it was because switching over to obviously Gears for the time period. Again, yes, I'm sure a lot of it had to do with the spoilers and shit like that. But I think a big part of it is that's not his viewer base. And I have been streaming for a long time, which hint to everyone, I'll be back on Sunday. But yeah, so you get to, well, no, you don't get to hear it first here because I think I dropped out on Twitter.
You did.
I did, yeah. But you get to hear it here second. Yeah, so when it comes to viewer base though, I've learned that over the time and stuff where like if you try to change games, your viewers get pissed. And they're just like, no.
I think that was a contractual obligation, bro. Like he was just absolutely obligated to
Halo comes out. He'll be right there with that one,
I got yeah, that's fine, but you can
see it was PlayStation. When did he switch to Xbox?
No, I don't know.
No, he's
always
PC.
Yeah, he was always
PC.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was?
The thing about it is it doesn't matter if we're talking about Gears or we're talking about Halo. She will really hit the nail on the head. His demographic and his group of folks that are watching are all Fortnite players. Battle Royale. Okay, even when he was playing Apex Legends, his numbers were through the roof. He's Battle Royale. He's stereo cast. He's typecast. That's the way it is. Like that's what happens when you get like when you're a comedian for so long in Hollywood and you're like, I'm gonna go try this drama out. You're probably not gonna make it, dude. You're a funny guy. You know what I mean?
You wind up like Jim Carrey.
All of a sudden, you're solving crimes when you're in New York City.
You wind up like Jim Carrey. Nobody cares about you anymore.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Brian Baker with a zinger. He says 17,000 viewers equals 1 viewer per Xbox sold. It's 100% return rate.
Hey man, show some damn respect.
Wow.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
What's up, Predator?
It's Predator. What's
Sorry,
up,
I'm late.
Predator?
I had to get my cable fixed. This guy's jacked up some shit over here.
Hey, no worries. Shogun Blade is happy that She-Wolf is here, so we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Damn, how come you're making money off of me being here?
Hey, people are excited. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're excited.
All about the money.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Look, they're supportive. Hey, go check out her own Mixer. She does good stuff on there as well. Hit the like button. We got Predator in here as well. What is this? Mooch's channel? Almost 550 watching, 113 likes. Let's get like 200 likes.
Hit that like button.
Yeah, hit the like button. Let's get things going. Predator, what do you think about the Gears 5 stuff, man? What's your thoughts on this?
What stuff?
Like the reviews.
I always said, okay, I predicted at 89. I knew there was no way anybody in the history of Sony was going to let that hit 90. I'm really disappointed with those. I think it was like 2 or 3 really, really, really low scores, but that's typical for an Xbox exclusive. Like we typically get those 1 or 2 outliers that just don't make any sense. I don't know if they do that for clicks. It's like it just doesn't. I don't get it. But I haven't played the game, so I can't judge it yet. But I definitely don't see it being a 60. Like it just doesn't sound right. Just saying that, let it roll off my tongue. This is the same, and I know I tweeted this out earlier. This is the same was a US gamer that gave some bullshit game like 100 score and called it game of the year. I tweeted it out earlier. I can't remember the name of the game, but like it's I don't understand how like they did this with Forza, right? And they had some guy playing a racer who doesn't like racers. So of course the score is going to be low. You would think that you try and find the person who knows the best about a game and have that person play the game to review it. You don't still put some asshat out there that doesn't like this game in the beginning. And it's, a lot of times that's what it seems like happens. They put just like we need a bad review score on this. Put Shanti on it. And he does reviews.
I love it, bro.
And he's like, this game sucks. Like, I don't play games like this. I like to play like Fortnite. Like why am I playing Gears right now? And I don't like it. And they give it a bad score. And to me, I would think that like I wouldn't say grade on a curve, but you got to take those scores that you get for an Xbox exclusive and kind of give it like an extra 5 points just for GP. Because like that's what typically happens. We get knocked for some of the dumbest shit that doesn't make any sense. Is they let slide on other games that are multi-plat or Sony exclusives. I'm not trying to make this a fanboy thing, but let's be real. Every single game this generation has a score that's been an Xbox. At least like 2 or 3 shitty scores from some company that doesn't make any sense, and it happens all the time. So like I don't take Metacritic anyway for face value. I like to go by people who I know that like those games and play them, and I take their review of it and I go with it. But on the surface, it just kind of looks bad, you know, just because that's the score that everyone else sees. They think that the game sucks.
Well, here's the thing, though, Pred, and I think you made a good case right there. But Knox was saying, I think just before you got on, like, even if you take those two out that are drastically low, that you're right, whether that's biased, whatever that is, it doesn't matter. Like at 86, you know, you kind of, you know, we're not doing B-, B+. You know, I mean, 86 by the end of the week, it's probably going to get another point or two from the ones that are still respectively grading the multiplayer. It'll be about an 87, 88. That's a 90. I mean, my point being is like this game is fine. It did just fine. It meta just fine. So taking those 60s and 70s that you saw that you're talking about, those are on almost any game. You can almost find them anywhere. There's always a couple of those. The difference here was in some of the Sony games or in some past Xbox games, there was a couple of higher where some people gave it an 8.8. They were getting 9.3s. That's what pushes it over. But, I mean, realistically, I think this was pretty much one of the more fair ones. I thought this was done pretty well. Again, at the end of the week, I think this thing sits at 87, 88, and that's pretty damn good. That, for all practical purposes, for discussion, is a 90. Like, it really, no, kick comes home with an 88.
At the end of the day, though.
Come home with an 88 on your test. I mean, who's really that upset with you? You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, like I would say, like, play the game. It's in Game Pass.
Right.
So you can probably get it for like nothing, like $2 right
for
now.
$1. Yeah.
And then on top of that, like even if it's an 81, right? Like it's not a bad game. It's not a bad score. Like you can't look at like if everybody gave it like 40s, then that's one thing. But like the majority of the people gave it like mid to high 80s. So like it's obviously something you should try out.
Yeah. Yeah, like absolutely. Look, Game Pass is there for a reason. I've said for a while, even though people try to downplay it or whatever, I'm like, no, Game Pass is a quality service, especially if you have paid into some of these lesser Xbox exclusives. You know, and you get tired of paying $40 to $60 for some of them. It's a really solid deal. I mean, some people like, I mean, Sully was given a great advertisement for Bard's Tale 4. He says it's not bad. What was your quote for Bard's Tale 4, Sully?
It's great.
Oh,
see, probably but Crash, see the thing, like
it's
what
not
Sully's
too bad.
See, but like what Sully's saying, like Bard's Tale is good, right? Before it's like, oh, okay, I don't really want to buy it. Now you can just download and try it out. So you're definitely right, man. Game Pass is a damn good service, man.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But
keep getting better, brother.
But I do have to say this, though. I have to say this because a lot of people say this to me, and they're Xbox fans that say this. They go, crap, well, what happens when Sony does a Game Pass type thing? And I'm like, what's their motivation to do a Game Pass thing? You know, when their bangers are hitting 90+ meta.
You know what their motivation?
You don't think they will?
Million gamers.
No, they're not
going to. They will.
I don't think they will.
Yeah,
the reason why I don't think they will is because their quality is so high, right? Like Microsoft were forced. Yeah, look, Microsoft were forced to do this. I don't believe if Microsoft exactly forced. If Microsoft were out there really trying to, if they had games that were winning Game of the Year and selling 15 million a piece, they would not have done this and put their games in their day and date. I can almost guarantee you that.
Let me ask you a hypothetical. Say, for example, 3-4 years down the line, what 2 years down the line, Game Pass is just the thing. Game Pass is so popular, it's getting people to buy Xboxes because of this service. Halo is in there, all of their future first-party games is in there. You don't think Sony would consider like making PS Now their new service and having their games in day and date? Because say if they're making like Xbox is making tons of money with Game Pass, you don't think Sony would consider that?
You know what? I don't think they'll consider it because if you look at the money that they're making, it's not actually that much. Sony.
I mean, that's what I'm saying right now. But that's why I said a couple years down the line. Say like Game Pass is killing. Game Pass is the reason people are buying Xboxes. You don't think Sony would consider that?
Yo, Dirt. I don't think so. Another thing, Crap should think about when you're talking about PlayStation. PlayStation is Sony's backbone. So yeah, the PlayStation platform is keeping Sony alive. So why wouldn't they try to broaden their demographic in a couple years?
It's all about subscription. They want to cut that middleman out.
More money.
They will do that. They just won't devalue their first party content by putting
maybe not at first.
They won't because I mean I really don't think that's drawing anybody to Game Pass that the games are in their day and date. That's not. I mean,
are you kidding? Did you hear how many people?
Wait till bigger games come out. Yeah.
Because
the
it's
bigger
in Game
games come out.
Pass?
I don't
Oh
think
my
I don't.
goodness.
Yeah,
But
you know what?
are they
What
gonna
people would
so
have done?
Crap,
What people would have done
So Crap,
is
I
they
got a
would have.
question for you.
They would've
Since
signed up the
we've been
gear.
sticking on the same kind of topics for the past hour now.
Yeah, go
One thing I
ahead.
love about Xbox Nation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you're speaking about Game Pass, so why don't you tell everyone what's coming to Game Pass?
Oh, you know what? That's a good segue. There, listen to these greatness right here. Of course, Gears of War 5 is the big
There
one.
you go.
Yeah.
Greatness right there. They don't matter.
Yeah,
Whatever. No.
Metal Gear Solid HD collection.
Well, that's something people might want to play.
Classics.
Yeah, those are really good. Now hold on to your hats, folks. Here comes the real
Bring it
banger.
on, Crap.
Hold on,
You said the
bring
one
it
you
on,
might
Crap.
like.
Here we go. Creature in the Well.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Enter the Gungeon.
Oh,
That sounds great.
Can't wait to get my hands on that bad boy.
Goner Blueberry Edition.
Whoa,
I like blueberries.
And Dead Cells.
Dead Cells is a good little indie.
That's
Though.
all.
Dead Cells isn't bad.
It's funny because I got to use XBot here for an example because XBot always likes to use his family and friends as his census. I was at a gathering and I said, guys, Gears 5's coming out. And they're like, oh, it's cool. When's it coming out? They didn't know. Nobody knew. So I said, well, it'll be out next week. Because they don't. I said, you guys really should. I said, for right now, $1.99, you get Game Pass and you can play it, Ultimate Game Pass, and you can play it on Thursday night. And they were like, well, the thing about it is they're like, these guys are casual. They're as casual as casual comes. Like I said, these guys play like one game a year. And they're like,
Madden or Call of Duty, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Or NBA 2K. So they're like, okay. So they're like, well, no, 99. They're like, that's crazy. And I'm like, and you get 200 games. You should have seen me. I sounded like Xbox. I'm like, hey, you get 200 games, and I'm going off on a sales pitch. And they're like, well, what is it after the 2 months? I said, well, if you don't catch another deal, I said, which you will. But I said, if you just like what you have, I go, it's $9.99. They're like, nah. They're like, nah, I don't want to. No, they're like, they're like, dude, I only play like a game or two a year. And I'm like,
that's your friend.
No. This is what I'm saying. No, Xbox, this is not about my friends or your census or anybody else. My point being is the people we talk to on Twitter and the people that we all associate with are all hardcore. We play everything. But people that are out there right now that play just Madden or just Call of Duty, they don't want another $10 bill a month. They're like, dude, here's the deal. I'm going to go buy Madden and I'll see you next year.
Yep.
Like the thing about it is, so what I'm trying to say, and I use these rough numbers, because when you use rough numbers, everybody's like, oh my God. Like, so let's just say there's 45 million Xboxes out there. I said this before. Give the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give Xbox the benefit of the doubt. 10 million people have Game Pass, which I don't think they have that many. I don't think that many people have it. But let's say 10 million people have it. And everyone bought in at 99 cents. Okay? Just right? Just Devil May Cry 5 alone cost Xbox 19 million. You know how much Gears 5 cost? A shit ton. Okay? So my point being is that at 99 cents at 10 million, okay, that's not really cutting it. And we have it for 3 years. Okay? So they're not even making their money back on that. So what I'm saying to you is the whole pitch here, when Phil first, before all this even came about, was about the 2 billion gamers. When he said 2 billion, he meant casuals. He didn't mean the people we all kind of hang out with, the hardcore. He needs the casuals in order for this to work. Netflix has casuals. Okay, I'm a Netflix casual person. I watch 1 or 2 series a year and pay for the stupid thing all year. I'm the guy that Phil wants for the Xbox Game Pass, okay?
I mean, you wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Right. But I'm trying to say to you that that's what they're trying to get, right?
That's the target.
They're not. What they did was, and every time you have any conversation with somebody, it's like, it's a great value. No kidding, because we all buy everything. So it's a great value. But if you bought just Madden, then it's not.
Well, if you bought just Madden,
you're
not really contributing to the game industry
but
anyway.
Phil wants that individual.
Check this out. But when it comes right now with Game Pass, what they're doing is they're solidifying the service between console and PC. When they're talking about that 2 billion, that's when xCloud is unveiled, and they're talking about casual gamers who play on other devices, possibly getting in on the Xbox platform, stream to their cell phone, to their tablet, stuff like that. And when it comes down to it, that's where they're seeing kind of like that kind of like cha-ching $ sign type deal. Right now, we as the quote unquote hardcore gamers that you're talking about, we're reaping the benefits of them solidifying the platform for when for when xCloud goes live and they try to extend out to that casual gamers market. But But because in honor of She-Wolf, who brought up the games, the new games in Game Pass, guys, not every single game is going to be a home run. Let's be real here.
That's going to be less.
In that list, you have one of the hottest games.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, this is this month. But hear me out. Xbox, what you just said, did you hear after he got past Gears? Okay, everybody was like, it was like a balloon deflating. Well, my point, right? So if we're the hardcore, and we're playing this, right? We're playing games every day, and we're like, dude, not bad. How's the casual going to be excited about Dead Cells?
They're not.
You're not going to be
happy. They don't have to play that. There's other games
going to be happy with every single offering that's being put.
Xbox, I understand that Netflix doesn't appeal to everybody, but we all have it. The point I'm trying to make is that what Netflix has done in reaching casual watchers, if you will, of movies and shows like myself. I don't watch a lot of Netflix, but I have it. What Phil wants is you to get it because you want to play occasional games, and it is a good value. No one can argue if Game Pass is a good value. Nobody. But you should see the arguments I get from casuals when I'm like $10 a month. They're like, whoa, slow that down.
Yeah, because Mooch, the thing is, if it's a great value if you buy more than 2 games a year, right?
Fact.
If you're a guy that buys more than 2
if you buy more than two Xbox games, because realistically, even though there's some really good third party in there, you don't know what's coming unless you're a subscribed member month to month. So
well, you know it's not going to be EA, you know it's not going to be Ubisoft, and you know it's not going to be Activision. So you know what I mean? Like this is the thing. Yeah, this is the thing, and the point that I was going to make. Microsoft, we're going to see more and more of these things as these other companies pull out of Game Pass. Like it's going to be filled with indies and Xbox games only. That's basically it. Because like I said, Activision has no desire to be in Game Pass. Ubisoft has no desire to be in Game Pass, and EA has no desire to be in Game Pass. They all have their own services and stuff except for Activision. But why would Activision? Yeah, Activision is not going to put Call of Duty in there. That's their big franchise. They're not going to do it. So the only thing that Microsoft is really relying on is some of these smaller developers. And you know what I mean? Like that'll eventually run out too when they decide to put their own things into their own type services or whatever. And that's where the problems start to come in. And I do think it's like, you know, look, we can sit there and go, oh, well, they're going after casual. Well, how many people have a phone and how many people play Gears Pop? 1 million people? That's incredibly low in my opinion. You know, like that's a specific game made to go after the casual market. And hardly anybody even blinked. You know, next week, there'll be even less players on there. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. This is where the whole xCloud stuff is a bunch of nonsense, and they realistically should have waited another generation. They should have won people back. Xbox, listen, they should have won people back with this upcoming generation on the console side, and then towards the tail end, start to introduce some of this stuff. Not bring all this stuff up now when people are just like, oh, what the hell's going on with you, Xbox? You know what I mean? Like, they haven't won anybody over.
They can't be left behind, though, crap. They
well,
don't
listen,
be left behind.
Listen, they're already
here. Google was here.
Google's going to be shut down in 2 years with this Stadia stuff.
Okay, crap. Let me ask you this. Now you mentioned
Stadia.
Crap. Now you mentioned 3 of the biggest. Well, actually, the 3 biggest third-party developers.
Yes.
EA, Ubisoft, and Activision, right?
Yeah.
They already aren't in Game Pass. They're not in Game Pass right now. They're going to. So who else is there, right? Square Enix, maybe. Okay. Yeah. I mean, but look, that's the same thing. If they're going to leave Game Pass, well, they're also going to leave Google Stadia because they're,
No, Google Stadia is a store like the Epic Game Store or Steam. They're a store. You have an account, you go buy the game.
Hey, I've said this for I've been harping on this for a while. Listen, Google Stadia is going to be dead in 2.5 years. The reason why it's going to be it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Hey, listen, listen. This is why it's going to happen.
Telling you you're wrong.
No, I'm not. Listen, listen to what I'm saying. Okay. Like basically this is what's going to happen. Google wants people to play use Stadia as their main way to game in the living room, the way that we game on Xbox and PlayStation and whatever else, right? And PC. They want their way to be our way. Not an option, the only way. That's going to be a problem. The second thing is they want you to rebuy all your games for a full $60 price.
But
right?
Is there some type of
I agree.
Like if you don't want to buy the games, is there still some type of streaming deal they have for like Google Stadia?
Well, no,
like you can pay a
they're
certain
gonna have
fee.
a pool of games for your
Yeah,
subscription.
they're gonna have
A
some
pool of
whack
games,
ass
right.
games, some whack games that you can play for free. Some
yeah, the way, hey,
you can play for free. That's it.
they compared
Okay,
it
so
to
they
they
will
compared it to
have-
Xbox Live. They compared it to Xbox Live, right?
Yeah.
They said
Okay,
it's going to be like Xbox Live, but we're going to give away one game or less a month. How do you get less than one? I don't know, but that's what they said. One game or less a month. So listen, Stadia is going to fail. It's going to be an epic fail, and if they're going to shut down really quick because they don't have that that passion I was talking about. They don't have that passion for gaming. People aren't going to trust them with their money, like I wouldn't anyway. And it looks like when you see the lines where people trying out Stadia, nobody's like eager to get over there and try it out. I'm not saying that that it doesn't work, or that it doesn't work for certain people or whatever. I'm just saying I don't foresee this being a big deal. They didn't even really test it out. They tested it out to a couple thousand people months ago, or maybe last year, and now they're just like, we're ready to ship it. I just don't believe that it's going to work. Hold on. Beast Mode 82 says, crap. He says you're, and instead of you are, a moron. Nobody wants to listen to you. You're still stuck in the 90s. Time to move on. Stuck in the 90s? Man, I don't know if I'm stuck in the 90s, man. Listen, I was perfectly fine with the 360 era. That was like 2005 to 2013. Yeah, I was fine with that. I don't mind digital content. I don't like the streaming aspect or not owning your game, or just how quickly. Look at how games are getting delisted every week now. It seems like games are like, this game's getting delisted. You can't play it anymore. Like when that happens with a streaming only game, you're just screwed. You're not playing that game anymore. You paid $60 for something and you're not going to be able to play it. So that to me is something that I would definitely worry about in addition to being able to play. Go ahead, man.
Crap, we're all different people, right? Because I mentioned before, I have a big old, I had tons of CDs, tons of them.
I do too, man. I still got
those shits are just sitting in my damn garage collecting dust. But guess what? I can still listen to all of those CDs on Spotify or whatever. So me personally, I used to be like you, like I want to own my shit. It's at the point I just don't care anymore. As long as I have access,
that's where the majority of people
these
are.
Things. Yeah, as long as I have access to these things.
Listen, so one of the examples, and I was going to retweet it out. I might later on. Awesome dude on YouTube. He did a huge 25-minute bit on and he said at first he was not a fan, and he's like, here's some of the things. And just one example. This doesn't appeal to anybody on the panel. I get it, but he was like, college dorms, right? He's like, everyone has a tablet, and now you have a controller. And he's like, everyone has access to unlimited Wi-Fi in college. And he's a young guy. He's just out of college. He's got a big YouTube channel, huge YouTube channel. And he's like, people don't realize so many people in college are going to latch on to Google because they can just play it anywhere. They have unlimited Wi-Fi all over campus.
Hey, Mooch, do you know about college Wi-Fi though?
Yeah.
Dude,
it's pretty goddamn good. It's better than crap.
What do you got?
No, man. My oldest daughter's in college right now, and she's enjoying life. But hey, Mooch, it's thing.
Good.
People don't, for some reason, people fail to mention Japan. I don't know why, but Google Stadia, xCloud might be big over there, man.
Yes,
because that's what they do. They carry their phones around.
You may not like it, and I'm not going to sell it to you. But I'm going to tell you, when everyone's like, it's not dead. It's going to be something.
And what are these brilliant Xbox games that are going to appeal to the Japanese gamer, Dirt?
They will give it more of a chance if it's on their phone.
But they're not gonna. But they don't like. I mean, Xbox sells.
That's a different subject line. There.
Xbox sells five consoles a year over there. I don't really think people. But they aren't, because any game that you can play on Xbox, you can play on PlayStation, with the exception of a few, and most of those few have been completely trash.
True. We're talking about on our phones now.
If xCloud allows a lot of third-party support, of course, all your gaming library, then then it could open up to that. But I mean, again, that's a whole nother. That's a different conversation. As far as
here we go. I see Gerald Rivera says 5G is coming. I've been hearing about this 5G forever.
I mean, crap. Here's the thing. I totally get your point.
I heard Google Fiber was coming 10 years ago.
Okay, you know what though? Like, for someone who plays like a lot of video games, like I understand the aspect of the whole streaming thing. Like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes things a little bit easier. But I don't see how paying $60 for a game that you can only play if you have data or if you have Wi-Fi is really legit. Like, I do think maybe they should take the prices down some at least, because you don't actually technically own the game.
If you don't technically, if you buy Borderlands 3 next week digitally on Xbox, you don't own it either. So
I get that, but my point is, like, if you go and buy like when we used to buy CDs and when we used to buy like hard copies of games and stuff like that, we owned it.
Yeah, but you don't digitally now. So I'm on a digital world now.
No, and I understand that. I'm not saying that. Obviously, the digital world is a good way to like go because you can store as much space.
It's a digital world, and Mooch is a digital girl.
But bum.
Yeah,
so, anyways, my point being,
but you can store it, Mooch. You know, you can.
Here's
it's
save it on your
yeah, but Knox, honestly,
Mooch, hold on. But the
store
aspect
my ass,
of it, though. Yes, I get you love your digital, but I'm referring more to the price aspect of it because of the fact that you don't actually have it though. So like I do think that they should at least bring some of the like come on, it's just
on your
account.
It's on your account. There's so many movies
but if
and
you have
music
no
that
internet,
you have only on an
you're
account.
fucked, buddy. You ain't playing shit.
What is it? You guys got to stop. Are you guys like churning your own butter at home, or do you guys go to the store and buy it? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm going into 2020. I have internet. Okay, majority of people have internet.
I'll tell you from experience that you can't get internet in the military in a lot of places.
Oh, okay. So a Predator, thank you.
Oh, there's a console for you.
So, you
know what? So I mean, my point is like,
Google,
look, in all honesty, listen, if it that's not necessarily their market. There's a lot more markets out there than the ones we're going to depict tonight on the show. What I'm saying to you is right now, trust me, Google's not going into this not knowing that they're not going to have any customers. Okay, that's first and foremost.
Well, no,
second of all,
they're going to have customer. Everything is going digital.
If you buy Borderlands 3 next week,
I get that.
If you buy Borderlands 3 next week digitally on Xbox, it's the same thing as if you buy it digitally on Google. It's on your account. It's tied to your account. Period.
I get that. I'm not hating on it. Why are you acting like I'm hating on it?
You're saying that you don't own it on Google, but you don't own it, but you do own it on Xbox digitally. You don't.
No, I meant like in general. I wasn't picking one against the other. They're literally the exact same thing. Like I wasn't.
That's what I'm saying.
I wasn't.
Like everybody argues with me.
Everybody argues with me.
Damn it.
Everybody argues with me, and then they're like,
"Well, hold on,
I agree with you, Mooch."
Well, no, see, you literally started arguing with me without an actual argument going. I think you just missed it.
Just say like this is the same conversation I have every week. It's just you're coming in after a hiatus, and I've had this conversation 85 times.
I agree with Bot. At least you can download it and store it. And Google, it's just in the cloud.
You can take the box that you stored it on, put it under your pillow, and feel good. It doesn't mean anything.
The thing is, you can store the box and keep it. You. There's a method of actually storing it and keeping it and accessing it later, as opposed to with Stadia.
You guys
the
notice
only option is downloading it and streaming it. It's just
you guys understand that when you guys turn on your Xbox, do me a favor. Next time you guys all turn on your Xbox, go to your games and apps, and then go to your queue. And in there, you'll see 4 or 5 boxes on Xbox, and it says games recently updated. Okay, that's what you need to play the game. So you can download it, not have internet, like you guys are saying. Good luck playing that game in 2 weeks.
I can though, right? Like you can, you can still
you'll
play
still
it.
be able to play a form of the game. Yeah.
You just won't be able to play it online. You won't be able to play it online or whatever. Like
you won't have
especially
the latest update.
Yeah, even on PlayStation, it's like you can start the game now. You just can't have network features or whatever. And a lot of times that's a way to keep people from pirating games or whatever. But my main thing is Mooch is the way that they just take away the games overall, right? Like if you're streaming only is your option, you won't have any option to play your game then, because unlike me, listen, it might not be a big deal or whatever, I'm just using it as an example, but Minecraft Story Mode or DuckTales Remastered, I'm just saying those games would be completely pulled off Stadia and you just would no longer have the access to them.
Crap, if after 10 years of buying Google Stadia games and I lose DuckTales, I'm okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that happens
not a deal breaker.
Right, but
it's not a deal breaker.
Forza 6 or whatever.
Plus,
you know
I got to be honest with you, everyone's case is different, but everyone that's listening to this show right now, and everyone that's been hearing us talk about Google Stadia, and everybody in the chat that's like, crap's right, you guys are right, internet, you guys are all listening to this show on the internet every week.
We are.
So every week, everyone's like, what happens on the internet? You wouldn't have heard the past 80 conversations on Stadia.
Well,
My point is we all have internet all the time.
If Brad puts this on iTunes, people can download it.
Well, listen, this is what I have to say. It's the start of us losing what ownership rights we do have.
We lost it years ago.
But no,
and
we
Dirt said,
didn't.
Dirt said it at the beginning of the segment when he said, I'm okay with that. 90% of people right now, Crap, have Netflix and Hulu, okay, and all these, and they're going to have Disney Plus.
But
they don't
you're talking about a viewing service versus an interactive service where everything has to be one-to-one, or it's not going to be a quality experience.
What kind of business model would Google have if they're just going to yank games away from people after they paid for them?
Did you see their Reddit?
You guys are making up scenarios. You're making up scenarios.
They have a phone book, Crap.
No, listen, they gave away, but listen, they gave away. They had one of the worst Reddits I've ever seen in my life. They had no answers for anybody about game ownership and what happens if they decide to close up shop. They couldn't even give reassurances.
If Google closes up shop, you better have an underground bunker.
Why? Dude, there is a site dedicated to failed Google products. They literally drop their products at the drop of a freaking house. I know, but I'm saying, why would you waste your money with?
Why would people buy Teslas? Why would they do this? Why would you buy anything new? Everybody run to your bunker. Everybody run to your bunker.
Listen, I think Teslas suck. I would never buy one.
So I don't. And like that's the point. The point of the matter is like you can't say you guys are just like
who's yelling?
It's ridiculous.
Listen. What I'm saying is this:
there's no internet.
Well, listen. I'm just telling you. Listen,
there's no sun tomorrow.
Let me say, when it rains, Mooch, I lose my fucking internet. Right?
You gotta move, dude.
I'm just saying, both places. I lose internet, or
how long? No Crap. How long is your internet?
Yeah, how long do you not have internet? That's a good point.
It depends. Okay, like if it rains for whatever reasons, if it rains, like let's just say we get a steady rain,
right?
My internet will be gone. It could be gone for an hour, and then when it comes back, it's not right until things dry out for whatever reason. Right,
okay,
so I'll be pulling less than
2.5 hours.
It's not 2.5 hours. I'm talking about like I'll be running less than.
Let's say it's a week.
Yeah, exactly.
So a week a year, you get this. And don't get me wrong, you're also
not a week a year. Like listen, this happens quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I might not.
It rains in Florida.
I understand. I understand. I understand. It's not for everybody. But what happens is, why these companies are pushing this, because they want to take more of the rights away. They don't want any used games. They don't want any used games. They don't want people to mod their games.
Now I'm on your side.
Yeah,
they don't want on your side. Yeah.
Hey, they don't want people to mod their games. They don't want people to share their games. They don't want people to buy used games or trade games. They just want you to pay $60, and they want to control the market. If you look at something, right? Digital games, go to Amazon.
Look at Blustery in the chat. Mooch is out of touch on this subject. Yeah, $1 trillion company's in on it. Okay.
Well, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. If you
Xbox is going to follow, or both are going to do the same thing.
If you go to Amazon, or Walmart or whatever, you can get control for $30 right now. Okay, hell of a deal, right? Hell of a deal. Problem is, if you try to buy that digitally from Amazon or Walmart, it's still $60, right? When there's no other option for physical, we are all screwed. We're going to be the ones that pay the piper. We're the ones that
I can't argue with you. If you want to talk about that subject, again,
I'm fighting the good fight for everybody, for the people.
But Crap,
I've only ever bitched about the price. Like that's the only thing I've ever complained about when it comes to like streaming or like downloading games.
So let me answer She-Wolf real quick. So She-Wolf, here's the thing with digital sales. Same thing with like PC gaming. Okay, you'll notice that PC games like Borderlands 3 on PC will drop substantially in price before the consoles do. You know that we all got right. So
yeah, you got like CD keys and all.
So this is the same situation where the physical is completely left out. So if Borderlands 3, I'm guesstimating here, I don't know, but I would think that they're going to follow Steam and they're going to follow like Epic, right? So where they have a game at 60.
Mooch.
Well, you guys just made 80 of them. I can make one. So, right? You guys will have to. What happens if the sun falls on my house, Mooch? What happens if my house goes underwater? Okay, listen. You can't play games.
Let's pull yourself back. Let's reel you back in here. Okay, back to what you're talking about.
No, what I'm saying is games are going to be cheaper eventually and faster on Stadia than it would be on possibly a console, still depending on physical sale.
Well, obviously, because they are still digital. But
here we go again. I just said that, and you're like, well, obviously. Well, then your concern isn't really there if it's obvious.
Well, no, but it is still there for the start aspect of it. Like, if you want to play it when it first comes out, then you have then you're behind the times.
But that's the thing, though, She-Wolf. When you want to play something the minute it comes out, you're paying for the service. You're paying to play it first, and there's a cost for that. People that got their Xbox One, yes, it is. When you went and got your PlayStation 4 day one, you paid $399. My friend picked up a PS4 for $179 because he waited 2 years. Okay, that's the thing. You paid more, but you got the quality of using the product. There's a cost for that. And that's the same thing here. So you guys are like, wait a minute, I want a used price on day one. What? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's a new game. You pay new game price. If you want to wait 3 or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, you'll get it discounted. And my theory is they'll follow more of an Epic Games, or they'll follow more of a Steam sale, and they'll have those games cheaper. Now, that may not be to fruition, but if you guys can say the rain is, like the sky's falling, I can tell you that scenario holds some water.
What happens if my dog chews up my internet line, Mooch?
You're screwed, crap.
Well, listen, let me just point this out real quick. The streaming game stuff is nothing new. And Xbox, before you get on me, well, Microsoft does it better. Microsoft has done a lot of crap better, and it still failed. I'm just going to point that out real quick because people don't like Microsoft
I owned
for whatever reason.
HD,
yeah,
brother.
exactly, man. Look, Groove Music. Hey, I had me a Groove Music subscription for like 2 years or something. Like, it's ridiculous. You know, it's like the stuff that happens with Microsoft. But I also just wanted to point that out. Also, PlayStation Now has been a thing for pretty much this entire generation. Now, I want to point this out. They said they have 700,000 subscribers, and this was up something like 50% or something like that, right? But guess what happened? Well, year over year. Well, within that year, they announced that you can download games, meaning they probably had less than 300,000 people subscribe to that service, or that have even used that service, because I doubt that they have 800,000 subscribers.
Brother, but up until like what, last year, when they finally started putting PS4 games in there, all that was a way for them to make money and say, well, we sort of have backwards compatibility.
Well, they needed to find a way to do that. But what I'm saying is nobody used it until you added the option to download. When people were like, add the option to download, even Netflix on your phone is like, you can download stuff. Why? Because internet is spotty at places. You know what I'm saying? So, and this whole idea that people want to play like these full-on games on their phone with a controller in their pocket and then hook it up or whatever.
When
we
PS
will.
Now goes on like other, you can stream to your cell phone, tablet, stuff like
well,
that.
Remember, PS Now originally was on phones. It was on
but it was using your
TVs.
PlayStation. It was using your PS4 as the hub. You can only go so
No.
far. No, they did a workaround where you were able to do it.
No, dude. Look, Mooch will back me up on this. Remember this, Mooch? Didn't they offer PlayStation Now on Samsung TVs and Blu-ray players too, right?
Yeah. Blu-ray player. I would love to see the Blu-ray player one. I remember the TV thing.
They did it, yeah, and it was on Samsung TVs as well. And everybody was like, it's going to be huge because imagine these things at hotels and everybody's going to be able to play PlayStation games, and nobody used it. I'm not saying that nobody's ever going to use this. I'm just going to say that 10 billion or 2 billion, whatever, I think that's 10, that, you know what I mean? Like, you can wipe your ass with that because that ain't happening. Like, that's this imaginary number.
Here's the deal. Get 10% of 2 billion.
They couldn't even get they had predictions of 200 million consoles sold this gen.
If you are in business and somebody says, you know what, we'll throw that net out there. If we can get 10% of 2 billion, that's a lot more revenue coming in, brother.
Well, you know what else? You know what else gives them a lot more revenue?
Though that's only if they're getting in addition to. Yeah. If they're trading it off, then they already make that now. They already make 10% of 2 billion now with the way things are. So if it's a trade-off, then are they really getting anything? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's only if it's in addition to.
That's a good point because they've lost so many they've already lost so many gamers from 360 to Xbox One.
Yep.
You know,
and they'll never be able to get them back unless they follow the blueprint that you want, right, Crap?
No, well, listen, my blueprint would have them at over 100 million consoles.
Not this generation, brother.
I'm talking about next generation. First thing I do, I'd make exclusives great again. You know what I mean?
Man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, you want
Can we get a red hat for him?
Hey, you want exclusives? There's a console for you. It's called an Xbox, whatever the hell it is. But you damn right. You want to play this you want to play this Gears hotness? You want to play this Forza Horizon hotness? You got to buy our box, baby. Guess what?
Now you're saying no PC crap, just the box?
No. I would put some stuff on PC, like that little rinky-dink crap. You know what I mean? And then I would keep Gears, Forza, Halo.
No evolution into the.
I would keep Gears. Listen. I would keep Gears, Forza, Halo, Fable exclusive to Xbox consoles. I would give PC players their own Halo Online, where it's just online.
Hey, let me tell you what they would do. Like
I'm so surprised.
Hey,
nobody's
using the Windows Store anyway. Epic Store's already eclipsed them in 8 months on the market.
How? Nobody owns anything though.
What the
Epic
Store?
do if the internet goes out?
They have exclusives.
Hey, Mooch, what if the internet goes out, Mooch?
You can
happened?
download it. So
What do you do?
They have exclusives. Hey, hit the like button. Let's get up to 200 likes. I'm telling you, man, I would make Xbox so great. They would be so great. We wouldn't have any of this.
Hey, crap! Listening to your plan,
man.
They would throw you right out of there.
They wouldn't throw me out, man. I'd be wrecking shit.
Mr. Gamer, get out of here.
What are you kidding me? They can't throw me out. That's against the rules at that company, right? I'd be in the middle of I'd be sunning myself, tanning myself. Well, I mean, that was before. Now it's a totally different thing. You've got selfie days, sick days, I don't want to work days, beach days. Like you've got so much vacation. Like you start there and you got 9 months of vacation away.
I got one for you, Crap.
Yes.
A girl from my job, she called in and told them she couldn't make it in because her dad was ordering pizza.
Well, there you go.
That's
I'm going to celebrate Festivus, Mooch. Every day's a holiday, right?
Yes.
She said her dad was ordering pizza.
Yeah, her dad's ordering pizza, so she.
No, not my dad. I said someone from my job. They called in. And she's like, "Oh, I can't come into work today because my dad just ordered pizza." And they're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like,
"Did they fire?
Seriously?
Did they fire?"
No, she still works there. I'm like, seriously?
Hey, they must be very forgiving in Canada, eh? No?
Canada, eh?
Hey, okay, let me let me talk about this a little bit. Control. Apparently this game runs piss poor on the base Xbox One and the PS4. Is this a problem for our future of games where there's going to be this crossplay crap, where they're going to force you to play against other people online, play, like, I'm sure the X will probably be okay for a little bit.
It runs like shit on the X2 crap.
Well, I mean, what's going to happen next gen with the base Xbox One, because they're still going to have to ship games on that dirt. What do you think about that?
I don't know, man, because that Xbox One, I don't know, man, but Control runs kind of crappy on the X also, man. I just finished it, and when you pause the game for whatever reason,
it stutters.
It stutters like shit. Yeah. So like you playing on like the PS4,
yeah,
it's really bad, man. So if there's a lot of things going on the in the game, it just slows down.
Apparently, man. Mooch, does it run bad on the Pro? Because I know you're playing it on the Pro.
The Pro, but the thing is, so I've talked to a bunch of people. Dirt just confirmed it for me as well. I've talked to a few people that are playing it on the Xbox One X, and I told them my issues, and they said no. They said in all honesty, ours might look a little bit more crisp, but it's the same issues as far. That's just a problem where I think Xbox said it last week or the week before. It's the CPU that it just can't handle what Remedy's trying to put forth. But no, crap, to get back to your original point though, I think that's a bit of a hiccup moving into next generation where both companies are going to try, at least for a short period of time, to make sure that you feel like you're, whether you buy a Scarlet or a PS5, your PS4 Pro or your Xbox, especially Xbox is going to say Xbox One X is going to play Halo Infinite, but is it going to play it as crisp? They're playing it with Scarlet in mind.
Of course. When it comes down to it, it's how Remedy built their engine. It's a heavily CPU.
I think it's their engine. I agree with. I think it's their engine.
That's exactly what it is. So when it comes down to it, when you have games built on like Unreal and stuff like that, of course, on the lower systems, you're not going to have the same graphics. But what they are going to do is they will make it on par if they're doing it. It's not going to be an issue like this. If you notice, when was the last time Remedy made a multiplayer game?
Never.
A multiplat, you mean?
Multiplayer.
Oh, multiplayer? I don't. Yeah, they're a single player game.
Never. Yeah. So when they built their engine, what do you think they had in mind? You think they had multiplayer in mind when they were building their engine to build their new sets of games or whatnot? No, hell no.
Well, they better fix that shit before Sony buy them, because Sony don't pay that.
But even though whether Control is an issue of just the game's engine or the engine or whatever, that is a problem going forward. The older systems are going to hamper the potential of the better, newer hardware. It'll be pointless to get new hardware if it's going to be hampered by the base Xbox and base PlayStation, because they're terrible on those.
I hope they figure it out, man, because I don't want to get a Scarlet and a PS5 and have to deal with that crap.
That all depends on their structure when building the game. If they're putting the FPS as like the structure of the base game and everything like that. The only difference that's going to be is like you are going to have like absolutely incredible graphics on the high end part, and you're going to have completely dog shit graphics on the low end. Is what's going to happen. But everything else, everything that matters, frames and stuff like that, it's going to be the same.
I don't think Dirt,
how they build it.
Dirt, I don't think you have to worry about your concern that you just mentioned. I think that let's just take any new game. Let's just say Remedy comes out with a game early part of next generation. If you have a Scarlet or a PS5, I don't think you're going to run into the issue. The issue right now is you're seeing developers are starting to push the envelope as we reach the end of this generation. And Control, listen, I got news for you. Control is so demanding that the recommendation on PC is to drop it down to DX11. Yeah. Because it messes with DX12.
DX11?
It does. That's the recommendation.
But their games are poorly optimized, though, Moose, because even Quantum Break had an issue. Yeah, absolutely.
But I think they're just trying to. They're overstepping their own bounds there. I mean, I will say this much though. Well, instead of just sitting here, I will say I am thoroughly. I'm actually, believe it or not, crap.
Did you finish it?
I've almost platinumed it on PlayStation. Yeah. I got to be honest with you. I'm truly enjoying it. Yes, it has hiccups. Yes, it has issues. But at the same time, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So even with a little bit of that stutter step, that you know what I'm talking about, Dirt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I still really would recommend the game to a lot of people.
It's a good game. I just finished it.
I like it. I do.
I just finished it.
I think it's Remedy's best work. Now take that. I will put the caveat in there. The asterisk. I never played Alan Wake. So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but I think this is too much, brother.
And the first Max Payne was pretty good.
Max Payne was phenomenal. I love Max Payne. But and it's funny, let's keep in mind that Max Payne 3 doesn't count in the conversation because that's Rockstar.
Yeah.
So that out of the equation. But still, Max Payne 1 and 2, glorious, great games by Remedy. But I got to say, this game, in my opinion, when someone says to me 5 years from now, "Hey, Remedy," what comes to mind? I'll say Control.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game.
It is. It's a game I recommend.
The story's a little out. The story is a little out there.
It's very out there. You kidding me? It's like when it's 2:00 in the morning, you're watching TV and you're like, "What the hell is this story?"
Yeah,
but you still can't leave the couch. You know, it's one of those. Yeah. So
hey, I like it. I think the story's crazy, but hey, it's a lot of fun. And it's definitely one of those games that it's definitely uniquely Remedy.
Oh yeah.
But again, like I don't. You're right. I mean, they don't like even Alan Wake and Quantum Break weren't amazingly optimized. And I remember when they did the Xbox One X patch, it was like one guy did it or something, right? So I mean, like who knows?
Right.
Anyway, that's gonna be.
What's up with this motion blur though? Because they had
they did the same thing.
Motion blur.
You know what I don't understand? There's also
not yet.
Not on the console.
Turn off the what is it? What do they call it?
The film grain.
Film grain. You could throw. This week they're supposed to have an update that you can.
Well, listen. You know what sucks?
Too much of it.
People bitched about the film grain and motion blur and Quantum Break, and then they patched it in that you could turn that crap off. And they didn't think people would care on this one.
You know,
I don't get it.
You know my opinion though. My opinion, though, crap. I think they're doing it to mask, and what I mean by that is, you remember we were talking. I think the Don was talking about it.
It's to mask the reconstruction.
Yes. Because to be honest with you, when you look at other games, you notice a lot of games put fog in the backdrop. It's because then you don't have that draw distance. You don't see that, right? This is their version of masking that, and Xbox nailed it.
Yeah, well, you don't need that stuff on the cartoony stuff that Xbox puts out. But
oh, damn it, crap!
Oh, damn!
How dare you, crap? I'm
just messing with you guys.
Damn, Clay, you hurt my damn feelings, man.
You know what? I actually wanted to talk about the Nintendo Switch stuff a little bit. It's getting Overwatch. It's getting a lot of interesting games, including Banjo-Kazooie coming to Smash Brothers. We can talk about this for a couple minutes anyway. I'm sure the audience is going to love hearing this. But listen, Phil Spencer tweeted out. He's like, hold on, what did this asshole tweet out again? Let me see what this guy tweeted out. I gotta find this
asshole tweeted out.
I gotta find this guy's tweet.
Asshole,
he's like, he's talking to Ryan McCaffrey. He's like, thanks, Ryan. Lots of people were pulling for this. He's talking about Banjo-Kazooie on Smash Brothers, myself included. Cool to see the Bear and Bird in Smash Bros. Ultimate Nintendo America. You know what I mean?
Like that.
He's super nerd. So my response to him was, lots of people pulling for a Banjo game on the Xbox too. I'm just saying.
Crap, you just made fun of cartoony games.
I get that, but listen. If you have all these other exclusives that are supposedly coming, right?
Man, Man, we wouldn't care about no damn banjo.
Oh, are you kidding me? That's such an excuse.
Man, come on, man.
Hey, did you see the way
Banjo,
people?
come
Did
on,
you
man.
see the way people reacted to that game going to
Nintendo fans, not Xbox fans.
Hey, when does Xbox fans ever get excited like that about anything?
Hey,
Gears.
Halo. It was a dude that cried about Master Chief.
Master Chief, what? 2004?
No. And this year at E3 2019,
they didn't even
he
show
cried.
anything.
But they showed Master Chief and that little trailer at E3 2019. The guy literally shed tears. Nobody cares about Banjo. Xbox guys, they're bear with a damn book bag with a bird in it. Nobody knows.
Dude, hey, people, I think you're wrong, man. I think people do care. I think that it would be a great thing to have a platform. I mean, they're supposed to be catering
want
to
Battletoads crap. That's what you want?
No, good lord, no.
Is that what you want?
Look, I want them to I want them to use a good developer for a new Banjo.
Hey, Crap, I think me and you should stream Battletoads.
Not the Lalas. I don't even think you can stream that. It's not co-op over Xbox Live.
It's just
you play your game. And I'll play my game.
It's only couch co-op, man. I want to play with Mooch so we can laugh at each other about how bad the game is, like Mystery Science Theater.
Xbox now, you're my Xbox brother, but I can't rock with that Battletoads, man.
Oh,
brother.
Good.
Yo, different
Like 10 minutes.
strokes, bro.
I'm gonna be like, I need to
That's
move
all
on.
I gotta say, man.
Battle Turds. Look,
Battletoads.
Xbox likes those type of games, man. You get him a cartoony game, he's all over that shit.
I prefer that Streets of Rage 4 over that Battletoads. That
Saturday morning,
beat your ass in golf.
Hey, that's because Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Actually moves fast. It's not like it's going in slow motion. You remember the old NES when you'd be playing a game and then it would it would all lock up. That's what Battletoads reminds me of, but it's playing like that on the Xbox One X. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty ridiculous or whatever. Greenberg, he's been opening his mouth in between his vacations all across the world. He takes some shots at Sony. He says 8K is a buzzword for next generation.
Yeah.
And no developers are making 8K games right now.
Right.
Man, Mooch.
Didn't Xbox use 8K as a buzzword?
They did. So I'm wondering,
what the hell?
Man, like what's this guy talking about? Mooch, what do you think he's talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, he's basically saying no other future console will be doing 8K
He's
rendering.
saying next gen. He says no developers are making 8K games. It's just a buzzword.
So I agree. I think that's
I think he's right. The part that's a head scratcher is that Xbox said the same thing. That Sony, right? Xbox just said that. So I mean, he's right. I don't. Aaron's not wrong, but the fact that it's contradicting what they're already preaching. But the fact of the matter is, they're not going to get 8K. I don't think people are going to have 8K TVs in their homes. People are just saying right now. You see Twitter, Mooch, I just got my 4K TV. It's amazing. I love it. I can't wait. It's amazing. They just got it. You think they're going to flip the switch in November 2020? No. Second of all, the 8K games that they may be referring to are like, if someone just said it in the chat, are like a Rezo gun type of game. You know what I mean? Like something like that, where it's a Super R type. Okay, basically taking something we played in the 16-bit era and enhancing it so it's just got amazing particle effects, but it's really just a ship going pew 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 pew. You know what I mean? From like long distance. It's not going to be anything like The Witcher 4 in 8K. It's not going to happen. Gears 6 in 8K? Never. So, Brian Baker says 8K, 6 frames per second. Yeah, I mean, right? I mean, there's a trade-off. So, I mean, there's no way. So, if you're going to get 8K gaming crap, you're going to get it in a very simplistic game.
8K Pong remaster.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, listen, I'm just saying, I heard Gran Turismo has 8K renders for their cars. I mean,
okay.
Could we see?
So when you're parked and it's at a 45-degree angle, you can see the hint of the sun.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, man.
No, I hear you.
Look, those are gonna look pretty sweet when Sony's showing them off, and you know that. Listen, why couldn't they run The Last of Us 2 at 8K if it's
exactly? That's not happening.
Why not, man? Why not?
Well, crap.
I don't think the text in the box.
Dude, this thing. Did you see the vents in this thing?
Not for The Last of Us 2 type of
hey, dude, I'm telling you, the vents. This thing is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy powerful, man.
I know that's been rumored to be a true dev kit. Boy, do I hope it doesn't look like that.
Oh, I'm sure the PS5 won't look like that, but I mean the V shape.
None of the dev kits except for the Xbox, one of the more recent Xbox dev kits where they used the S kind of like mold, but they had the LCD screen and stuff like that. For the most part, if you look at Durango, which was the original Xbox One dev kit,
it was shaped like a Dodge Durango.
No, it was just a big box. It's not gonna. I can almost guarantee the PS5 will not even remotely look like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course not. It's not gonna look like that.
There's people out there saying that it is, and they're like, you know what? It doesn't look that bad. I'm like, okay.
Well, no. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, I just think that it's just Greeny talking out of his butt, like normal.
Dude,
as far
I just want to say, crap. When you're talking about an 8K render, if there's an 8K render for certain things in the game, it'll be cost heavy to develop, but that doesn't make the game 8K. So you can have an 8K render for something that is focused right in front of the screen most of the time, and it will look good. But what's going to take a hit is the environment around it. All right? Because
well, I mean,
the way that asset
well, listen, isn't that what the new hard drives are for, right? Like they load in stuff as needed instead of everything at the same time, which, that's why we get a lot of pop in now. But I mean, it'll be interesting because it takes me into this where the developer was talking about the CPU and the PS5 and how it's so advanced that it really reduces the time that it takes to actually make games. The development time drastically reduced according to them. So games aren't going to take what they are normally taking this generation as far as what we're so a lot of people that are assuming, Spider-Man 2 maybe be 2022 or something, maybe even sooner, or, the next God of War, maybe even sooner than people think. I think that's where we're at with the technology stuff. And for me personally, the things I'm most looking forward to with this next generation is no loading times, no loading screens, right? Yeah. You don't break the immersion. Mm-hmm. And of course, like the bigger worlds and the smarter AI and the more people and things like that.
I cannot wait for the no loading times because I am sick and tired of seeing my spaceship going through Rainbow Road in Destiny 2, waiting to get to the next kind of like Gambit or something like that.
You know what I scratch my head and think about, and Pred, I'm wondering if you're thinking the same thing. Here's the thing. They're demoing 0 to very short load times on current games on future consoles. That's fine and very impressive. So for the level of gaming we're going to get, which there's going to be quite a few games at next generation's beginning that are, using the same amount of technology that the games are using right now. But these developers, and I think that Donna agree with this, they're constantly pushing the envelope. So I think where we are now, yes, the games we have currently, when we boot them up, are going to be like snap a finger fast. And I think as we progress through next generation, I don't think they'll be as long as they are now, but I think the duration of load times will extend as we progress because developers are constantly pushing more and more and more. And when you do that, it's just going to be heavy on the hardware. So I myself personally, I think eventually it'll catch up. I could be wrong. I just don't know.
Played Anthem, right?
Right.
On the X and had someone else playing on a not X. You'll load in quick as fuck, right? But like everybody else is like behind you. So like that's the issue. Like everyone's not gonna have the same console. So it's great for the people who have the best hardware, but like when you're doing a mission with somebody and you're halfway through the map flying across it and they're just now loading on the platform to get into the game, and you're already in the firefight, it's not going to be fun for that other person.
Yeah, that used to happen to my buddy Grave when we play. Remember that, Mooch? We play PUBG. We were playing on the X, and he was playing on a base Xbox One, and we would be in Pachinki on the ground, like in the houses, and he'd be like, "Wait, the doors haven't spawned in yet."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
too,
yeah, exactly. So that, like, man, I'm telling you, like, I understand what Microsoft is trying to do, but having people play together, one on from PC and then launch Xbox One with the S and then the X and then Scarlet and then a streaming thing, it's just a debacle. I'm on a touchscreen and wow, that's going to be fun playing against somebody on a touchscreen, right? Like, what an advantage. So, like, for me, I don't think that it's going to be
play
great.
Your games on easy, you're going to love it.
Hey, I don't play all my games on easy. Like, a lot of games don't have an easy mode, right? I don't think Remedy's Control has an easy mode. It's just a regular. You just play the game.
Yeah,
I didn't see.
I did not see.
I don't always look for that. Depends on the game. Like the Arkham games, I always beat those just on the normal, whatever it is. Certain games can be a little bit tougher, and if I think it's going to be particularly like an RPG, right? I'll usually bump those down because I don't want to waste my time playing through 40 hours of a game and then not be able to beat it because I messed up, or you know what I'm saying, or I'm not strong enough. This is a true story. This happened to me with Dragon Age 1 on the Xbox 360. I played through that game, didn't realize that you needed to have all these potions and stuff, right? And then I wasn't strong enough or built up enough or have enough potions to beat the end boss. So I put 38 hours into that game, had to start all over, where I just maxed out my potions and stuff and what I needed to right from the beginning. Then I had to go back and play through that game all the way again. So ever since that point in time, I'm very careful with how I kind of, play those type of games. Now, it's not every game, but like Spider-Man, I bumped it down to easy. For some reason, I was having trouble with those combos and stuff. Like, I don't get it.
You bump Spider-Man down to easy because it's a little bit easier to catch those pigeons in the air.
People were kicking my ass in that game. I was like, holy crap! I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I couldn't get the combos to flow or anything. And then like when I noticed, and then I was having problems with the puzzle. I hate puzzles. So the circuitry stuff, right? Do the circuitry. You know that stuff I'm talking about, Mooch?
Oh
yeah, I know that.
Oh yeah.
So then I found out
I
found out you could go into the menu and disable that, where you could just skip that shit. And I was like, hell yeah, skip that shit. I don't want to play through that stuff. So
I didn't mind it. I mean, there was a lot. Those puzzles remind me a lot. Those are actually got to be. You got to give credit to BioShock. Basically same concept. They were in BioShock, it was liquid or water going from one end to the other, and you had to do the piping. Where in this one here, it was a little bit more theory, but you had to like figure out which way, and it was electrical circuit. But I mean, I didn't mind that. I didn't think it was that bad. I think there was one that was even semi-challenge. It wasn't that bad, crap. They weren't that bad. I didn't mind it, but like I said, if you don't like it, that's fine.
Sir X-Man says, give it to Luca. He says to me, no loading times means putting the disc in and playing the game. No waits. Facts. Hey, what's up, Luca? Hey, Shay Wolf. Say hi to Luca in the chat. Sure. Like you say hi. Luca says, say hi to Luca in the chat.
Falling asleep.
Oh,
hardware. You're talking about hardware earlier.
Hardware. Hey, well,
I forgot about that. She ain't
hardware. I remember that. We used to talk about hardware every single week.
I remember that now. You used to say, "Oh, y'all talking hardware."
I'll just be like, "All right, I'm going in. I'll take a quick nap."
Exactly.
I'm all right.
Like a pizza or something. Yeah.
Well, listen, I think Xbox, the hardware stuff is fine. We're gonna get. I mean, She-Wolf, aren't you gonna get a PlayStation 5?
No.
What are you gonna get?
I don't know.
Xbox?
No way. We're going PC, baby. Let's
PC.
Oh
wow.
No,
there you go.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
I
Okay.
actually.
Oh, no, you're not.
Well, I used to own a PC. Like I used to have I don't even. Well, I have a laptop now, but that's about the gist of it.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, my brother, Hellheimer.
One thing Crap hates more than Stadia is PC.
It is.
Oh, wow.
I was talking
I
to my
still
brother.
have my Xbox though. It's still like sitting under my
Hey,
table.
you're still gonna be good with it, man. Apparently, according to Phil Spencer, that thing's gonna be good to go for like another 50 years.
Well, see, there we go. I don't have a PlayStation anymore though.
Yeah, I mean, I would get one immediately because you're missing greatness.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Yeah, my brother.
When did you start kissing ass?
Oh, me?
Oh!
No. Well, it just so happens that PlayStation was putting out really great exclusives, and Xbox kept putting out really bad exclusives, and I was like, man, what's Microsoft's problem?
So that's kind of how it's always been. So when did you switch sides?
I would say when Phil Spencer for sure got up there this past E3 and tried to sell me more Xbox consoles without having a new exclusive announced in 5 years.
Oh, so you're just bitching for a little bit until they decide to do something.
Where's the pony leg breaker?
Probably pony leg breaker extraordinaire. What's up, man? I love it. Hey, oh man, there's a lot of chat.
Pony leg breaker is turning over in his grave right now.
Yeah. The albino rhino, the master of disaster. Oh wait, Beast Mode 28. Oh, I'm gonna let people see that. He says, "Shut up, crap! You're a moron, or you're a moron." He's signaling
I was gonna say he is spelling that right, by the way.
Yeah, it's
still you are.
Yeah, like, it's YOU apostrophe
R-E.
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
still write your like that is still a standard writing.
Yeah, I'm doing the Hollywood Hogan. That's basically what I'm doing. E. Murray says, "Crap."
How old are you?
Crap. Me? Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah, I'm walking down there with my
you play the guitar.
Yeah, with my
back
belt.
when wrestling was good.
Oh yeah,
those were the days though. Yeah,
it was. I loved it, man. I love sports.
Sports.
Fake sports. Yes. Hey, those people really get injured, man. Come on.
No.
I'm
I'm a WWE guy myself, Crap.
Yeah,
I
me
know.
too, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, man. Yeah, I tell that because my fiance is always like, she doesn't like wrestling, and I'm always watching it, and she's like, that's scripted, right? And I was like,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I mean, look, these
Like
people
say to me, Crap, man, you watch that fake shit? I say, well, you watch TV, don't you? It's just
exactly,
a TV show.
man.
It's a
You
TV show.
You watch. What the hell does she like? She likes what's that thing? Catching Fire, something or other. You know what I'm talking about, right? She has a bow and arrow, and she's in Hunger Games. That's what it is. She loves Hunger Games, right?
It's a movie.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, you like Hunger Games. That's fake.
That's fake.
That's fake.
Yeah, exactly, right. So to me, I like it. I think it's fun. Like, they're really athletic people out there doing some incredible stuff, and so I get it why people don't like it, but for me, I do. I like it. But you know what? I don't want to waste any more time because I know she would have fallen asleep.
I was going to say, why are we talking about wrestling? We're supposed to be talking about video games.
Well, I mean, sometimes
to the XW. Wait, what? Do they still call themselves the WWE?
XBN.
Yeah.
XBN, brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's Xbox Nation. What the hell is that?
That's not Crap playing.
That's not me.
Is somebody playing like a
Who is that?
That's Fred.
No idea who that was.
Not Fred.
Oh, that not?
That's Preg. I mean, that's Crap. That's Crap.
No, that one was me, but earlier that wasn't me. So, yeah.
Well, it sure as hell wasn't me.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Anyways, apparently nobody's doing anything.
Tune in next week as this group of crazy kids and that one crazy dog solve that mystery.
Dude,
Hey, everybody hit that like button. We had a really fun time tonight. Mooch, what do you got going on this week, man? What's going on? Well, all kinds of craziness, I'm sure.
It really is. Everything completely got thrown out of whack right now. I mean, I've got to finish Control. I've probably got about 3 hours left into that to finish the game. I wanted to have my review out today, and just with the whole getting Gears 5, I'm not going to work on that. I'm playing Gears 5 tonight. But then we will start streaming. Crap, you're going to be joining me.
Yes.
Correct? Tomorrow night, right? Tomorrow night's me, Crap, and Def Jam Bam are streaming Gears 5 on twitch.tv. That's the Mooch78. And then we've got Crossfire, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. And then we've got, of course, the MNC show. The MNC show on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Yes. Our new football schedule, 11:30 to 1 on the Mooch78. So come and
we got to get out of there in time, man. I got to watch my team.
Oh, that's right. And Giants Cowboys at 4, so I got time.
Giants, baby.
Yeah, they're
right.
Terrible. We got Xbox 328.
320. Dude, I keep getting downgraded. I'm not
what's that? Xbox? Won't. He thinks Xbox sucks. What?
Dude, you can hear me, right?
I know, yeah.
Oh my goodness,
we can. What do you got going on, bot?
Yeah. Well, as usual, I am on Crossfire every week as well. So that will be Friday on Mooch's channel, and we are going in this Saturday. Next podcast, it came back last weekend. A huge turnout. Thank you guys so much. But we are going in even hotter and heavier. Of course, we're gonna do the whole Gears review thing and stuff like that. You might want to hear what K Mega. We're gonna Knox is gonna be there. The whole panel is gonna be there. It's gonna be an awesome show. So definitely tune into that on my channel, Xbox 448.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. We got Knox, pretty good, pretty neat. What's going on, man?
Oh man, not much, bro. It was pretty good, pretty neat, pretty good.
You can tell when he's tired of his job, man.
Oh man, I hear you though, man.
Nah, yeah, man. Well, like always, right? Y'all can catch me right here on YouTube at Knox We Trust, coming soon. Xbox Nation, next podcast, occasional Crossfire and all that.
Yeah,
shit, man. You're ready.
Hell yeah, man. Looking forward to that. We also got Pred. He came in here late. What's going on, Predator?
Yep. Sorry I'm late. Had to get my internet fixed, but make sure you guys check me out next. Actually, this Saturday, since my partner in crime here didn't mention my name. No respect.
No respect.
Xbox Live, Predator Space HTOS. Hit me up on there. Xbox, PlayStation, Twitter, MySpace, Friendster, Netscape, wherever. I'm everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
MySpace
dude, you just made everybody speechless. It's like,
Friendster, what's that?
yeah, what I don't even know. Is that something Microsoft bought out? Seems like it.
no,
Oh.
done.
We also got Dirt Riggedy. What's going on, man? Where can people find you?
Well, check out my channel, Dirt Griggity. I'm about to do a podcast right after this show, and I'm also looking for 2014 Mooch and Crap. I can't seem to find them, but eventually I'll find them.
Mooch, media bias.
Hey,
Yeah, but thanks for the invite, man. This is what my fourth straight week.
Man. Yeah, man.
It's a
Like I
blast,
said,
man.
you got an open invite, man. We like having you in here for sure. Oh,
Thank
Jill 22 says, I love being a gamer, nothing but love and support. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And also She-Wolf, thank you for joining us. What do you got going on? You're gonna stream. Where can people find you?
So obviously you can still find me on Twitter, at XGWolfX. As everyone remembers, with a U, not an O. But yeah. You can also find me on Instagram at the same and mixer.com at XGWolfX. So yeah.
nice.
Exactly.
It's good.
Good.
I don't
Make
know
sure you
what
guys look for
time. I don't know what time I'm streaming on Sunday, but I know it's probably gonna be at night.
what game are you streaming?
I think I'm gonna actually hit Call of Duty. I haven't played in so long that I'm just like I got that itch to like play Call of Duty.
Understandable,
Nice.
understandable for sure. Well, we'll look for that and we'll retweet it for you and stuff like that. Special thanks to Sully for running this. He says play Bardsdale. It's okay.
That's
That's a great review, Sully.
That is. That's the Game Pass thing,
right.
right? That's what Microsoft loves to hear. Play our games on Game Pass there. Okay. So with that being said, thank you all for joining us. Like the video, share it out, subscribe to all these people, check them out. It's been a great day. Have a great night. Rack them up. Peace out. Later. Somebody's else. That's not mine. Later. Battle turd.
Go Recon.